Hey everyone, it's Ashley and I'm back with another video. And this time you might be wondering why there's a gigantic pile of pumpkins in front of your very eyes. And that's because I went to Walmart, and surprisingly Walmart was having a huge sale on all their pumpkins. I went on Saturday, which is the day after Halloween, and they had their medium-sized pumpkins for a cent and also their the white pumpkins for a cent. So what I wanted to do is go ahead and process all of these and, turn them into puree and chunks, and also take the sunflower seeds and roast them. And I just figured this was a really great deal, and I posted about it on Instagram also. If you guys don't follow me, my Instagram is thethriftychica, and you can find whatever deals I find because I post immediately when I find a deal. But I'm going to go ahead and show you guys part of this process, and we'll see how this turns out. Okay guys, so we're at my sink area and I have some of these pumpkins and I need to go ahead and process them. So because I'm going to use them both for the seeds and for the actual pumpkin itself, what I'm doing is I'm first taking the pumpkins and I'm going to wash them completely. And the instructions that I've read says to cut these open, you take these seeds out. I've done that before. But if you're going to process it for puree, you're going to want to, after you de-seed it, you're going to want to cut this in slices, and you can put them in the oven and bake them for a little bit so that they get soft, and then you can scoop out all the, the meat of the pumpkin essentially, and then puree it. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then I'll show you guys some more. Okay guys, if you decide that you want to puree your pumpkins, what you do is you set your oven to 350 degrees, and you're going to take some oil, it doesn't matter which kind you use, and you're going to take your pumpkin after you've cleaned out the insides of it, and you're going to rub the surfaces of it with the oil and just to coat it, and you're going to put a glass of water, just a small glass, like about a cup. You're going to put a cup of water in, and you're going to oil this, and you're going to turn it over and let it bake. So that's upside down basically, and you're going to bake them in a pan at 350 for probably about 90 minutes, they say, or until the flesh is tender when you pierce it with a fork. So that's the next step if you decide that you want to puree it. And once this is done, you can take the pieces out because it'll be all tender, and you can scoop all the flesh out and put it inside your blender, or if you have a food processor, and puree it, and then you can put it in the storage containers so that you have it in your freezer in case you want to do any baking. Okay guys, if you have like a lot of pumpkins like I did, just baking them in the oven is not going to be very practical. If you have just one or two, it's perfect because you can just throw them in some pans and not have to worry about them. But if you had a lot of pumpkin like I did, what I did is I broke out the crock pots, and I basically cut up the pumpkin, in slices, and then I cut out the meat of the pumpkin and I put it inside the crock pot and let it sit for about 8 hours on low, or you can just start it overnight, put it in before you go to bed, and make sure that you have the water level filled to the top, and then when you get up in the morning, it'll be all soft and ready. And then you can just throw it straight into the blender. And I'll go ahead and show you, once I get done with finishing processing these, about how much I ended up getting out of everything. Okay everyone, this is pretty much the finished result. I have about 3 pumpkins left, which will probably give me another one of these tubs. But what I did is after I got the pumpkin cooked and I processed it, put it in the blender, made it into puree because I figured it would be really easy to put into recipes like pumpkin pie or, bread, pancakes, cupcakes, whatever I'm going for. And you can get quite a bit, all of this was basically the 15 cents that I paid for all the pumpkins total. So definitely a good deal. I would recommend, the day after, to go ahead and head down to Walmart if you can, since they have such really good pricing on their pumpkins right after the holidays. And I also took the seeds out of them, and I roasted them in the oven. These ones I just made with seasoned salt. I basically sprayed them with cooking spray in a shallow pan and just put them on for I think it was 250 for like an hour or something like that. You can find better directions online, but And then I just sprinkled them with seasoned salt. And I was talking to Candace from Lip Balm Queen on her channel, and she was saying that she makes sweet and savory ones, and she was recommending if you make sweet ones to do cinnamon and nutmeg and brown sugar and butter, which sounded really good too. So that's another good recipe to try out. So that's pretty much it on that one. If you guys like these tips and you know, you like this project, please like and subscribe. And if you guys want to find out what the latest deals are that I find, just, you know, hit me up on Instagram at The Thrifty Chica, or Twitter, or even Facebook. I posted it on all of those whenever I find something. So I'll see you guys later. Bye.